Welcome to another exciting episode of
ZoeTv.
And Kay, you're back. I was solo for a couple weeks, so it's good to have you back in the chair.
Wait, 2 weeks? One, just one.
No, two.
I hate to argue with you.
Felt like
you know
9.
that. Oh, okay, you redeemed it.
So I'm gonna go 2.
I'm gonna go 1, but you know what? I missed you too.
We love when we're together.
Yes.
Because this is like our chat session.
It's our thing, and we're good together.
And we film for 30 minutes, but we spend about an hour and a half in here just bantering.
Just
with our
figuring
guest
out.
offset. And someday the B-roll footage will air, and it's going to be amazing. Brian has promised us he's going to loop this together over a 5-year span of B-roll. Wow.
Okay, how much of that time will my eyes be closed?
At least 1 full calendar year.
I think you're right.
That's what Vegas would have it on.
I don't know why, but
All
okay.
right, it's summer. It's officially getting hot.
Yes.
That being said, walking past, they're busy. We're out there Tuesday, Thursday morning, 8:30. We're still rocking that.
I know it.
It's
you guys
so
are
fun.
amazing.
Well, we are having such a good time with assisted living and memory care on the walking path outdoor workout space. And they don't care if it's hot. We have shade. That's why the most expensive part of that grant was the awning.
Almost.
The
You're right.
Am I right?
Oh, you are right. And you know what? I just want to take a second to say it's your leadership. You're willing to go into the trenches.
Into the fire.
You're amazing.
Well, I've got great
Have we
team.
said
I
how
got a great
amazing
team.
you are? Yeah.
Mark is right there.
Yes.
9 feet tall, all muscle,
And
helping.
and Arlene and Tiffany.
And Arlene and Tiffany are great.
You have a great team.
I do have a great team. We
and me.
And you. We all just love the residents. So it's pretty
We
hard
do.
not to be a good team when you have the heart for making people have fun.
Well, you're right. When we've said that so many times, we do love you guys.
I think that if you are an employee in senior living, you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it because you have a passion for that industry. And if you don't last, it's because you aren't designed to be there. I think everybody that has committed to this and has proven itself and spent over, over a year, I think, is your test as an employee, especially through COVID, that this is the place. This is where your heart lies.
Absolutely. And I'm sure your kids notice it. My kids are like, Mom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Kelly's just jealous. Kelly loves to come over and volunteer and help because she just wants some of the juice that comes from being on campus.
I know she
All
does.
right. We got to turn it over to our guest.
Yes, we do.
Because relatively new, big impact on campus, a lot under her belt of what she's accomplished. She's already hit the ground running on volunteering. We got a lot to chat.
I love that when we get to meet people that, you're right, they move in and they're moving around.
That's a move in and move around. That should be on a t-shirt. That should be on the welcome packet.
Oh my gosh, we have so many t-shirts. Okay, I like it.
All right, Larry Hardin. Larry Hardin, you are in the chair. You are in the hot seat. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
So let's start with, who are you? Where are you from? Give us some background.
Well, originally I was born in Knoxville, Tennessee. Wasn't there very long. My dad was in the Navy. This was right towards the end of the war, World War II. And we got moved to Norman, Oklahoma. Well, didn't stay there very long.
They have a good basketball team.
Went to San Diego. Was
better.
there for a while.
Wow.
Then back to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh my gosh, you're all over the map.
By the time I was 5 years old, we lived in all those places.
So this is before you were 5.
Yeah.
And it was a military thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we came back to California, Northern California,
Okay.
a little town called Eureka.
I love Eureka.
Yeah. And that's where my grandmother lived and my uncle. So it was kind of neat going there.
And all the glass, the pebble glass on the beaches.
Yeah.
Ooh, never been there. Heard of that.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And the redwoods are right there.
My gosh.
Oh,
So-
you owe it to yourself to go.
So where would be where would I fly in if I was going to Eureka?
Probably San Francisco.
Okay.
Or Santa Barbara and drive up the coast.
That's a good drive, too.
That is a beautiful.
I've done it by train.
Oh, me too.
Ooh, Look
Yeah.
at you two.
And that was a lot of fun, seeing all that water there. It's like,
Beautiful. Right on the edge of the
It
cliff.
is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
and my parents ended up splitting up,
Okay.
but we stayed there. My dad left, and Mom got remarried, and I have a sister. Her name is Diane, and we were there till I was in the 4th grade. In the 4th grade, we moved from Eureka to Arcata, which is 2 towns right side by side,
Okay.
like Glendale and Phoenix. Then that was 2 schools I went to. Then we moved to Toledo, Ohio, and went to 2 more schools that same year, so 4 schools in 1 year.
My gosh.
Oh.
We were back there for quite a while, and then I was probably 13. We moved back to California and back to Eureka, where we stayed a short time. Then my stepdad, went down to San Francisco to work. He worked there. Then he got offered a job better in the company, and we moved to San Jose, where I grew up, basically.
Okay.
Went to high school there, and when I graduated from high school, I went to college briefly,
Okay.
till I ended up meeting my husband, getting married, and then we had a son.
Okay.
My husband was in the Navy, but he was a seagoing sailor, so we ended up down in San Diego for a while, and then he got sent over to Vietnam. 3 times he was over there. And then he came back, and we moved to Phoenix because my sister lived here. Her husband was born here in Phoenix. His mother was born in Jerome.
Oh my.
Yeah, so, in between all that, though, I've lived in Pennsylvania. I've lived in New Jersey. Was in Hawaii for about 6 to 7 months.
You've been everywhere.
Yeah, I've been a lot of places.
Wow. Okay, so let's go back to your husband. Okay, so Arizona,
Yeah.
and then what did that transition look like as you were a little bit later in life? Not Glencroft life, but like just a little bit later in life.
Well, he was a semi-truck driver. He drove a concrete truck here. And it's kind of ironic because he was Armed Forces Police. He was also U.S. Air Marshal and a Maine State Trooper.
Wow.
But he got tired of that kind of, so he went to work for a cement truck company. He was probably, about 56, 57, and he had a major heart attack. So they did the work. He went back to work. Then he had a second one, and they said, no more. So we had the opportunity to move to Pennsylvania because his parents owned a 2-acre farm, and they had a place for us to live that wouldn't be really expensive because we knew we couldn't stay here. And so we took care of them for a couple years. And then we moved to Tennessee when they passed away to be with my family. And in 2008, my husband passed away. Agent Orange-related diseases.
My brother, too.
Yeah, so I only
Horrible.
stayed there, maybe a month and a half after he passed away, and came here to Phoenix and was here up until roughly 7 years ago when I moved to Yuma,
Okay.
and then came back here.
Wow. Have you ever stopped and counted how many places?
Yeah, too many.
Too many.
I have packed and unpacked till I think I'm going crazy sometimes. But it's been an adventure. A lot of things happened in between. I was the first lady cub master in the state of New Jersey.
No, wait. What does that mean?
You have a den, which is an individual group, maybe 6 to 8 boys.
Okay.
Well, the troop has up to 80 to 100, depending on how big it is. I was in charge of that.
Wow.
But it was a joy. It was so much fun. The kids were great. Plus, I was the manager of a little league team. So I've always tried to be involved with my son and what he does. And I'm proud of him. He's grown up to be a nice young man.
Where does he live?
He lives in Phoenix.
Okay.
And he works for the city of Phoenix in a public library.
There, you're right.
Yeah. So when I was down in Yuma, a friend of mine was helping me do stuff and whatnot. He passed away. So I thought, okay, I don't want to be by myself down there.
Right.
So I came back up here. My sister, who lives here, she lives in Peoria, went and was looking at places for me to live.
Okay.
And she was shown this place. She knew of it. We both knew of it years ago. And it had a good reputation. In fact, we took a tour at
Really?
one time. Yeah.
Nice.
And she came and looked at it, and she was videoing it as she was looking, and she sent it to me and said, "What do you think?" I said, "Do it. Let's move."
Just
So-
like that.
Yeah.
So you live here with your sister?
Yeah, she lives in Peoria.
Oh, she's here. Okay.
Yeah. She's here, my son and his wife, my grandson. I have 2 nephews, a niece. So I have,
You got a lot around
We have
you.
a
Yeah.
reason to be here.
So do you
I'm so
see
glad.
them quite a bit?
oh yeah.
Good for you. Okay.
My sister, her friend, came down to Yuma and packed me out and then packed me up here. So they've been a big help, you know. And my nieces came over and helped. Everybody helps, you know.
Wow,
So
that's the way it should be, though.
yeah, and I'm enjoying every minute
So
of it
when
here.
did you get on campus?
March 1st.
March 1st.
Yeah,
Okay. And where are you on campus?
I'm in the villas,
Okay.
and I'm getting ready to move tomorrow to a different apartment because they're doing some improvements.
Sure.
Right.
So I kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
You know.
I think everybody, tries to grapple with, I got to pack up, I got to move, but it's for the better. I mean, safety first, but then also some of the amenities that are being dropped in at the same time.
Yeah, I got to go across the new section
Okay.
first today.
Oh, nice.
Today,
Wow.
and they put flagstone below.
I saw
it's
that.
gorgeous.
Very
Yes.
pretty.
And they're going to do it in more places up here, so
Yeah.
that's going to be
Now,
nice.
that will enhance just the appearance of all of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that ground space. So you had visited Glencroft a while ago, did
Yeah.
a tour. Then you had this recent tour, and they videotaped, and you guys said, I'm in.
Yeah.
When you got in March, I know you hit the ground running in parts of life here, but was it a change coming from Yuma? I mean, was it what you thought it would be, or how did it match up in your mind?
It was what I thought it would be, and in some respects, better.
Good.
Oh,
Okay. Tell
that's
us
a
how.
good surprise.
I mean, to me, when I first got here, of course, I didn't really know anybody on campus. And every time you walk by somebody, hello, how are you? Or who are you, basically. And I mean, people are friendly.
Right.
You know, they
Yep.
just want to make sure you're okay and doing stuff. And I've liked every minute of it.
And tell us all that you're involved in.
Well-
What are you doing on campus?
I started out and I went to work in the thrift store, which I like. And they said I was a good fit because years ago I had a gift store here in Glendale that I owned.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you knew all the behind the
Like
scenes.
downtown or where?
About 55th and I think it was Olive then.
Okay.
You know, in that area is where it was.
Okay.
So I had that experience, and I later on went to work for Desert Financial Credit Union, and I was with them 25 years. So they said I fit
Yeah.
to work in the
yeah.
thrift store.
Good candidate.
And then I noticed they played the games. I play dominoes, I do the hand and foot. Pretty much anything you say, let's try, I will.
You're in.
Yeah. And then somebody approached me and said, would I be interested in the tulip patch? And I said, sure, when they told me what it was. But at that point, things were kind of in an uproar because they had a leak over there. And I was waiting to get into my neuropathy sessions. So to me, that came first. And I just finished it. And in the meantime, I started work over there. I work every Friday morning. And I enjoy it. People are just so nice, you know?
I think Tulip Patch is a cool,
It's a very
not
cool.
under the radar, but you guys over there have so many neat things that you're selling. Hey, like I mean, some of the stuff that Patty gets in and that you guys source, it's like beautiful garments and just different things you wouldn't even think were here.
I
well-
buy my Christmas ornaments there. I love her.
What I didn't know was that a lot of that is on consignment
Yes.
from people here.
I know.
And I'll be having some stuff over there shortly.
Will you?
So-
what can we expect, maybe?
I do, they're like a cigar box, a wooden box, and I line them, and I paint them, and I decorate them in different themes. I do one for each branch of the military.
Oh,
I did one that was a music box. It was a little bigger. I've done one with dominoes on it, one with playing cards on it, flowers, you name it. If I can find something different, that's what I do.
I like that.
That's very
And before, when we were chatting earlier, you were telling me what a difference the neuropathy program has
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I actually have feeling in my feet, which is pretty neat because it's giving me some more self-confidence to walk better.
Exactly.
You know, and I like every bit of it. And I'm glad I can keep going with it.
Well, let's talk about it real quick because I think you were one of the ones that wanted to get on the list early.
Yeah.
You had your name in. We had quite a group this last session. We had
Yes.
17 total people, and it was a very exciting group for us because it was assisted living and independent living kind of merged together, and that was the first time we had attempted that, and it was special. I mean,
Yes,
what was
it was.
What was it like for you to be a part of so many different parts of campus coming together?
Well, it was interesting because we all have our issues, and to see everybody in there encouraging each other, you know, and you got to know the different people because I probably would have known somebody from assisted living
Sure.
or, you know, one of the courts or what, you know, but it was nice to meet these people. And I've remained doing things with them.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
It is more than just the healing of
Yeah.
your nerves. It's also about making relationships and getting to
A
know
lot of
people.
new friends. I consider
Yes.
them my friends.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
All right, I have to ask because I always ask this. How was the putting your feet in the ice?
I liked it.
Oh,
I did. I liked it. And everybody, oh, it's so cool. I says, but look what it's doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, it's making those nerves come alive.
Right.
And, you know, so I like it.
I think that the ice is more mental than anything. And once you
Yeah.
get through it and you build it up in your mind so big that this is going to be insane and it's going to be over the top, and then kind of get through it a little bit, you're like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And then you know it's followed up by the warm jacuzzi heat.
yes.
So it's, I don't know, I haven't done it, so I'm one to speak, but I've just seen it now in action so many times. But you did great with it. I mean, you did great in every aspect of it. Talk about, because it was always our question, and we've talked about this on the show, but the Bible study component of neuropathy always throws people a little bit off. Like, why are we doing a Bible study when we're working on our feet? And then when we start explaining it, the light bulb kind of goes off. But how was that interaction of that class for you?
It kind of opened my mind, actually. Made me think about things that I hadn't thought about, like, you know, you think, oh, I can't do this anymore, but God gives you the strength to go on. He's there for us. So it made a big difference.
Oh, I love that.
I love that too, and he has a purpose for us.
Absolutely.
Healing
I've
ourselves.
always felt that way. He's got us here for a reason.
Right.
Yes, even through tragedy and losses, and you think, why me? And
And I think a room filled with assisted living, IL, and so many different seasons of life in there. You go through a Bible study together and you think, okay, it was what was me, but then I'm listening and seeing somebody else who's having a harder time. It puts everything in perspective.
Yes,
Right.
it does, because I've noticed there was a couple ladies that probably had a stroke, I would imagine, and their speech was affected. The speech class, I could not get over how well they did from the start to the beginning. I mean, I saw improvement in other people as well as myself. So,
I love that. Well, we love every piece of that neuropathy puzzle because I think neuropathy is one of these things. We're not going to cure it, But when you take a holistic approach and put that around it, and you
Yes.
make it a lifestyle thing, and you make it about quality of life, it's kind of like the Parkinson's. We just try to enhance your day, and whether that's filled with exercise, Bible studies, the way that you're eating, the way your mind turns on, I think all of it has an outcome of you start feeling more confident, feeling better. But with the neuropathy, we've seen it now time and time again, these nerves coming back online. And it's, again, I think it's everything. How is the diet piece of this for you? That's a huge piece to us.
I was just going to say, it opened my eyes a lot, all the information.
Yeah.
And I have a folder that I kept everything,
That's great.
so I could go back and refer to it. And I've changed my diet quite a bit.
Well, I think
Yeah.
going from the very first beta group, I mean, all the way back to a lot of the Zoe Life stuff originally, is we transitioned this healthy eating lifestyle through different stages of Mediterranean diet, vegan diet, plant-based. We've tried everything. And I think Lish is so on the pulse of the right way to approach this healthy eating concept by still making it really taste good.
Yes.
But using fresh ingredients, low sugar, high protein. And that fits in the neuropathy so well because we want that inflammation to go down. So the
Yes.
sugars have to go down. Protein has to go up. So I enjoyed you guys coming together in Copper Club on Fridays and getting a little healthy snack, but hearing from Lish or hearing from John T. or different department heads, just educating you on the campus, but educating you a lot on food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Very much.
And how our bodies really are built to heal themselves. I mean, we're just giving them tools, right? To all those neuropathy things, our body has so much power if we feed it the right things and we do the right things for it. Honestly, God is intending for our bodies to heal themselves, not taking more drugs if we don't need it, but really doing it from inside out.
And I'm glad that I can continue doing different parts of it.
Yes.
I think that's important. You don't just do
Stop.
it and quit.
Right.
No, that's always
Yeah.
the goal. And we have a waiting list for the next group. So if you are wanting to be a part of it, you call down to the Performance Center because that list is growing by the day. And that'll be starting in July. We always take a little bit of a break and then wean you guys into the next phase. Because like you said, the program is never designed to be the edge of a cliff and day 30 or after 6
On
weeks
your
you're
own.
done.
Yeah.
You know, it's what did you enjoy? What was the most benefit to you? Now let's keep that going for you.
Well, I tell everybody, oh, I was in neuropathy. I did this, I did that. And they'll say, well, what did you think? I said, I liked it. It was such an improvement for me. And if you want to know more about it, I'll tell you what I know
Exactly.
and take it, and talk to them.
Well,
Word of mouth
That's right.
is worth,
Everything.
really, it is, because I can't tell you how many stories are different than yours, but similar in the fact that their nerves started coming alive. They could feel their feet, and they didn't remember when they last felt that. So, thank you.
Oh, my
so I'm
pleasure.
going to put you on the spot, and there's no offense by any of it. Tell me, you had your Bible study, you had drums, you had Zoe Talk with the speech stuff, you had the pool, you had exercise, you had the East End box, all of that. What was the one you look forward to the most?
The hot and cold.
The hot cold
Wow.
contrast.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
love
love
that.
that.
I love that.
If I could do it at my house, I would.
Well, and that's a piece of because we get that question a lot. Because
Yes.
whenever we take a little month off in between, we shut down hot cold. Just because it's hot cold is a lot of logistics. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot behind the scenes with that. And what a lot of residents have been doing is Epsom salt in a little tub of warm water, and some have a little ice next to them, and they go back and forth. And it's not as effective, but it's good. It's a good transition
That
to
makes
being able to do
sense.
stuff at home. So
Yes.
you could try that. But I am surprised, not surprised, but I think that hot cold is oftentimes that number one choice,
That's awesome.
which is very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I see it's running out of time, but before we go, tell us your full name. Larry
Jean.
Jean.
Larry Jean.
I bet she's the only Larry Jean on campus. I'm just going to say that.
But she could fit into every small group of people that are from Pennsylvania and Ohio, all these little, because she's lived everywhere.
Yes.
You could literally,
Yes. Larry
you could
Jean.
assimilate into any of these groups that are.
I love that name.
I do too.
Larry Jean.
Too. All right. So one last thing before our time is up. What's your number one? I know you love games and you love all the working out and all that, but what's your number one hobby? What's your passion? Is it gardening? Was it cooking? What did you love to do?
I love doing my crafts.
Her boxes, her cigar boxes. I
Good.
love it.
And I also color with pencils, and I frame them and give them away as gifts.
Man.
Oh.
Now, are you in the art class, Adele's class?
Not yet,
Okay.
because I ran out of time
Yes.
this last week or so.
But you might get going because they're doing
Oh,
some
yeah.
they started a new project
It's
last week. It was amazing.
gorgeous.
And we have some big grants on the
Ooh,
table.
fingers
We're
crossed.
hoping to help Adele and expand that program. So stay tuned.
Well, Larry, you are unbelievable.
Yes, Larry Jean.
We love residents to just hit the ground and run. Not that there's anything wrong from taking time, but just when somebody just jumps in the deep end,
It's inspiring.
it's inspiring.
Well,
Thank
thank you.
you.